Hello and welcome to the Karma Zero Daily. Topic of the day for today, Magento 1 versus Magento 2. How are you doing today, Steve?
I'm doing amazingly superb.
That's great. Have we done this whole spiel on people that, like, when you ask them how they're doing,
Not
they
publicly.
like go, not publicly, right? There was a professor at my school who he was like a kinesiology professor. He was super ripped, and every time you asked him, how are you doing? He'd be like, I am excellent. I am fantastic.
And you said he was super ripped?
A tiny bit less ripped than me, so like insanely ripped, basically.
Okay.
That was a joke. I'm gonna just start to insert like, that was a joke text. We're working on YouTubing up. We have a secret thing in the works where a very special person has been starting to maybe think about doing some YouTube editing for these videos so they're cooler.
I've seen some of the prototypes. They look amazing.
It's pretty exciting. Almost as exciting as the topic of the day for today, which is Magento 1 versus Magento 2.
Ooh.
AKA, when is the right time for a Magento 1 merchant to migrate to Magento 2?
That's a great question.
AKA, should you even think about migrating from Magento 1 to Magento 2? We were actually doing some prep for the e-commerce fuel podcast, obviously a very Shopify heavy community, so wanting to go in with some good ammunition in place to represent Magento hard.
Even though you're not an official partner.
Even though I'm not an official partner. That's my claim to fame, dude, is that I've never been any official partnership, right? When you're an official partner, you know, there's certain things you just can't do. You sort of have to toe the company line, and you're just not as independent, you know? So for example, a little while back when, you know, I was talking about people migrating from Magento 1, and I was saying, like, you know, because there was an end of life announced, I think it was November 2018, and I was saying, like, you know, I don't think people are gonna migrate then. Like, there's a lot of smart M1 merchants I know that are gonna stick around longer than that, past the end of life, which was something that was sort of unpopular to say at the time, but it's about being historically correct, historically accurate, Steve. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So, you know, anyway, said that at the time. They ended up moving the end of life out. I think we're still in a little bit of a wait and see period. The case for moving to Magento 2 is getting stronger and stronger every day. But, you know, I think for some merchants, they're probably going to sit around and wait, you know, another year or so, year, 2 years, who knows?
So you originally made that prediction back when Magento 2 came out?
It was when it was starting to get initial traction, and it was when Magento was pushing it hard. Every conference was all Magento 2, all day, every day. Magento 1 is over.
How long ago was that?
That was, I think, maybe a year ago, 9 months ago, something like that.
Okay, and the status update today is?
I mean, there was a status update that happened a while ago, months ago, where they pushed the end of life forward from November 2018 to, I think, 2020, something in 2020. They're pushing support out because, you know, Magento merchants just aren't all ready to move over to Magento 2 yet.
When that came out, you said you think they're going to push it out. And so now what do you see as far as the need to transition? What are some of the reasons you should transition or not, or stay with it in 2018? What do you think?
So it seems to me, based on what I'm hearing, the big reason, like the big features that you want to transition for are content management. The acquisition of Bluefoot is really interesting. They ripped that out of community. Staging, so if you want to stage a whole bunch of changes to your Magento site at once for holiday promotion or whatever. You know, I was talking to people that say that, you know, when they push out promotions, they literally have somebody up at midnight pushing everything live all at once. It's sort of complicated to stage changes across your product catalog, your categories, your landing pages, your all that stuff. So that's something people seem pretty pumped about. And then B2B is probably the big one that people seem to be pretty pumped about. They recently released a whole suite of features around, you know, mass bulk purchasing and things like that. And people seem to be excited. All those things are in the enterprise product. So if you are on the community side of things, there's a lot of code level stuff that's interesting. I don't know how much feature level stuff there is yet as a community edition / open source version. It's probably more about if you've been planning to, maybe you haven't upgraded Magento for a while, you've been planning to do it, maybe there's some extensions that you've been wanting to use but you can't because of your outdated version, maybe there's a bug you need patched, maybe you have performance issues. those are some of the things that might make you want to consider just hitting a bunch of birds with one stone and doing an upgrade.
Yeah, but if you're starting from scratch today, or you're building a new app or a new website, are you going with Magento 1 or 2?
Oh, you're definitely going Magento 2 if you're starting from scratch. Yeah, it's going to make all the sense in the world to go Magento 2. Deuces.